Hi everyone. So we are going to be making one of my favorite holiday breakfasts, the breakfast casserole. This is my mom's recipe. So yeah, we're going to be having it Easter morning with the family, but I figured I'd cook it ahead of time, have it here at home, so we can just enjoy it with our family. All right, let's get to the ingredients. Okay, so this is a pretty simple recipe. Now I know eggs are pretty expensive. This does require 6 eggs. I have seen the prices gone down. We fortunately have a friend that has chickens, and she's been giving us a very fair price on eggs. We're also going to need 2 cups of milk. I'm not going to put the teaspoon of salt in there just because I am using both sausage and bacon. But if you want to put the salt in, it's 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of the dried mustard, a cup of cheddar cheese, and then either a pound of bacon, a pound of sausage, or half a pound of each. And I'm going to be using 5 slices of bread for my casserole dish. And it's cubed back here. That is, you just want enough bread to cover the bottom of your dish, to completely cover it, whatever dish you're using. So it could be 2 slices, it could be 6 slices, somewhere in the middle. All right, let's get to putting it together. Okay, so I've already got my baking dish and I've already greased it. I just took a stick of butter and rubbed it all around. So you're gonna sprinkle the bottom of it with all of your bread. You don't have to cube it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I've done it before where I didn't even slice it. I just laid it in the bottom. As long as it fully covers pretty evenly. You can leave the crust on or take them off. I've done it both ways. I've done it where I've cut the crust off and used the crust in a different recipe. Especially if I'm doing dinner and I'm doing the pineapple casserole, I'll use the crust for the pineapple casserole because that gets it nice and yummy on top. All right. So now that we've covered that, we're going to mix our eggs and our milk and our, if you're using salt, salt, and our ground mustard. So I'm going to crack the eggs in here. Now you can crack the eggs separately if you want to. I trust the person I get my eggs from, so I just crack them all in there. She basically has a farm now. Lots of plants and fruits. She gave us the blackberries. I love these eggs. The yolks are so beautiful. They're so just tasty. And 6. All right, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Okay, so I don't know if you can see how nice and yellow those yolks are, but they are beautiful. All right, so we are going to add our milk. 2 cups. And our teaspoon of the ground mustard. We're going to whisk that all together. So I think the girls are actually realizing that the Easter Bunny is going to leave them something this year, which is exciting. I'm hoping that I think they're excited. I'm hoping that they get excited trying to find the Easter eggs. I think we're going to go on 2 different egg hunts. We're going to do one in town, my parents' town, Haddon Heights, and we're going to do the other one in my parents' backyard. So I think we did the egg hunt last year, but they didn't really quite understand what to do for the egg hunt until they saw all the other kids running and grabbing the eggs. So I think this year they're going to understand it a little more, maybe get a few more eggs. Also, they're allowed to have a lot more of the candies. Last year there were a lot of spherical candies, which I was like, well, you broke it up into the age groups, but you put candies in there that young children shouldn't be eating because they're choking hazards. All right, once it looks like it's pretty well combined, we're just gonna pour it over top. Now you can do it either way. You can put your meat down first, which I might do since I'm doing half and half. And then you can pour the mixture over top of it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just to make sure that I get it pretty even. So I'm using sausage and bacon because I really like the breakfast sausage. The girls sometimes like it, but sometimes they won't eat it. They say it's too spicy. Now there is spice to it, but it's not like a hot spicy. It's spices. All right. Now this bacon is pretty crispy, so it should just crumble right over top. You can also cut it. I like the mixed pieces too, so you get a nice sausage and bacon slice and you get the best of both worlds. I used just half of the package, so it was 5 slices, half a pound, 5 slices of bacon. And I used the no sugar bacon from Greenfield. All right, so that looks about right, about even. There's probably a few more little sausage nibbies than bacon, but that's okay. All right, so we're just going to pour our egg mixture right over top. Now it is almost 9 o'clock at night. The girls are sleeping, well asleep. Walt is downstairs with the puppies, but it is almost our bedtime. So this is a great recipe to do because all of this has to go in the fridge overnight. And it has to soak overnight. So we're going to take, now you can do a little bit more if you want, but this is our cup of cheese. So if you feel like you need more cheese, throw in more cheese, by all means. We are a cheese family. Okay, so that looks very good. So I'm going to cover this with tin foil, stick it in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow we're going to wake up a little bit early and throw it in the oven. So I'll see everybody in the morning. We'll be right back. All right, so I have taken this out of the refrigerator and preheated. I am preheating the oven to 350. It is almost time to wake the girls up. After the oven finishes preheating, we're going to stick this uncovered in the oven for 45 minutes. And then I'll be back and show you the plating. All right, so it was in the oven for 45 minutes. The girls are definitely awake now. To test the doneness, I just take a toothpick and stick it somewhere in the middle. Make sure it just comes out clean. So it's definitely done. And I'm going to give them a small slice of bacon and I think a small slice of the sausage. So let's get to plating. Okay, you can choose to do this however you want. It is soft enough just to cut with a spatula, or you can slice it with a knife. I'm going to use the knife just because I'm going to try to get some clean cuts. I knew I was going to need one of these. I don't want to burn myself because this is still very hot. So I'm going to just give them 2 slices, one of bacon and one of sausage. They're going to be about the size of my finger, although they're going to look like they take up half the plate size. See if I can get them out nice and cleanly. Sounds like they are arguing over the same toy, which happens. When you're doing skinny pieces, it's hard to get a nice clean section of it. Oh, there we go, baby. Woo. So, I mean, it's a little bit thicker than my finger, but it's probably about an inch wide. 1, 2, 3.5 inches long. And I'm going to spin this around and we're going to get them a slice of sausage. Like I said, some days they like the sausage, some days they don't. Now, while this is baking, you may see like a big puff bubble come up on one area or the other. You probably didn't add as much cheese, or there might be a little bit of bread in there, a little less bread on the bottom, so an air pocket develops. That's okay, just leave it be. Don't try to pop it, don't try to break it up. It's 100% okay. Once you let it rest for a few minutes, that little bubble will disappear. Promise. And I may end up sitting and eating this with them during the video, just because I love this, especially when it's hot and fresh out of the oven. And they're getting the best pieces, the corners. So it looks like quite a bit on their plates. Now, this is just a regular 9 by 11 baking sheet or baking dish. So the inside, so yeah, that's about 3.5 inches. So that's what they're gonna have for breakfast. So I'll put a link in the description of them eating it, and we'll see everybody in a little bit. Thanks for watching.